Hi everyone, this is what we're going to have a go at today. And this is in my Gelli Arts journal. And what I wanted to do was, she says here, you can see the mess around me that I've been creating. I took some jelly prints that I've been sitting and storing on for a while, some stencils from Gelli Arts, and then I raided my craft cupboards to find different things that I haven't used for ages, washi tape, rub-ons, stickers, and I've just thrown it all together. So these are the double pages we're going to do. So I hope you can sit back, grab a coffee, tea, and just listen to me ramble and watch me create these pages. If you're new to my channel, I'd love it if you hit subscribe and the notifications button. I'll also put a link to a blog post because I love my blog and I love to share all the photographs and a little bit more in-depth photos so you can see all the different layers up close and personal, and that'll all be in the link in the description box below. Right, so let's get started and I can show you where it all began. Hi everyone, my name's Lou Sims and I thought it would be wonderful today to start using up some of my jelly prints. So I've selected a few with, they've got a similar colour palette, and then I've done one as a contrast. So that we're going to work on those, and they're on a mixture of smooth card, copier paper, and like a textured copier paper, I want to say. And then I thought what would be good was to use them in my Gelli Arts journal, and bring in a few of the stencils from Gelli Arts and a few other little bits and pieces that come with lots of the different kits. So a little bit of bubble wrap, the punchinella, and my very well loved beautiful eyelash yarn. So I'm going to put everything away and we'll start creating. Okay, what I thought would be rather cool would be to look at the different designs and see different elements that I can use and cut up to create backgrounds. I want to do something collagey. I love collage. I think collage is my way to tune out because there's no plan. You're just going to stick things together. You're going to see how it works and do what works for you. So I'm just going to start cutting up some of the designs and making them into smaller sheets. Right, so I've left this one for the moment because I've got some border bits there that I think would look really good with some possible stamping in, some sentiments or some decorative stamping in. And that's a leftover from one of my cut up, and I've kept that because again that would be great to stamp on top of or die cut. But I've got these other elements here and I've cut these down. Now these might not stay the size they are, but they're my starting point that I want to work with. So I'm going to grab my journal, grab my glues, and we're going to get started. Okay, what I also did was I went and had a little bit of rummage, and these are some like little bits of leftover papers and things I had. And I've got another one there that I just thought I could incorporate if need be. So I went and grabbed a little bit of everything. So in my head, when I start collaging, I will think of my initial background and how I want to lay, things out. So this is the design here, and I'm just playing with the different colours I've got. So I've got the darker one there, so I'm going to break it up with a little bit of the blue. Now I can ink the edges, I can add some more detail to it. I'm going to put another bit of the blue there, and that's going to be the starting point with, I do like that little pop of black on the cross design there from the stencil. And I think that's going to go across there. Okay, so this is my starting point in my head. Now, it might change a little bit, but we'll make a go at least starting little bits of it, and then I can tie in some inking around the edges or add a little bit of extra stenciling for a little bit of colour. So let's just stick these down with to start with. Right, I've jigged with the design just a little to how I want it, so I could chop that down a little bit, and I've moved this over. Now, I haven't put glue absolutely everywhere, and the reason I do that, it gives me a chance then to put things, if I want to slide things underneath, I've got that little bit of space to do it, because I can go over and seal everything with a Mod Podge or a gel medium afterwards, but it just gives me a little bit more wiggle room. So I'm going to start building up a few more layers, and I think once I've got to the stage where I've got all the paper layers I want to do, I think we might need to look at doing some more stenciling. I couldn't decide which Gelli Arts stencils I actually wanted to use. And then I remember Gelli Arts did this cool stencil, which has a little bit of everything in. So I'm going to use that one because I think it's a little bit of a smaller space, you know, to work in. And I can then bring in some of the crosses that we've got here. And I know that some of the designs were from this flower here as well. So I can tie in a few things together. So I'm just going to add a few bits to it. I thought what I'd start off with is like with this beautiful teal, and you could use a sponge. I'm going to use a little roller because I want the randomness of it, whereas a sponge I will fill in more detail. And that can go on there. I'm going to turn this over and do it the opposite way. Right, now where's that little scrap that I can put some colour down on? I've got that there. Okay, this time I thought I would use a sponge because I want to pick up some of the detail. And because I'm using the acrylic, it will go nicely over some of the other layers. Okay, so that's my background layer, which has changed considerably. So now I just want to add some little extra lighter touches to it. And I'm just going to use some of the background sheets I've got. And I just want to create some smaller tiles with them. And I'm just going to tear rather than cut. And as I said, I'm not going to put glue everywhere, just in case I want to add some extra embellishments anywhere or wording. As a contrast, I've got some washi tape. I just want to add in places as well. And this brings in another colour for me. I'm going to highlight a few areas with just some white acrylic. So now I've got, you know, lots of different layers of texture going on, and I've used up the jelly plates and prints, and I've still got lots more that I can use. And now I just want to let this dry properly, and I will go round. I'm not sure if I'll glue everything into place yet, because I might change my mind again, but I'm going to then think about the different words and the next stage I want to do with all my prints. Right, what I thought would be nice next is I'm going to take my smaller jelly plate, and I just want to look at areas that I can print over in, just to create places to work in. So I'll just move the book a little bit, and I'm going to use up what I've got here, to be quite frank, rather than waste it. So let's just pick that up, and it's a mixture of like a champagne and a white, so we'll use that first. And then I can always bring in other colours if need be. Right, I also then went out, and I can't be the only one who does this, but I found loads of sticker books that I haven't even touched, which is rather embarrassing. But I was going to grab some of these elements and just add them on in places. As I said, when I collage, I don't have necessarily a theme. I just love to build up all the different layers and see where it takes me from there. I also found some old rub-ons that I don't know how long I've had, so I'm not even sure if these are going to work anymore. But as we're collaging, it doesn't matter if some come on and, you know, some get left behind. That's the fun of collaging. It's just going with the flow and just see where it takes you at that time. Now I love the fact as well that the rub-ons, because I haven't rubbed them on properly, are not coming out whole. That works for me, because it ties in with, you know, like with the collage theme of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Right, so as you can see, it's, you know, a mad melee of layers, textures and design. And, you know, these are great starting points for backgrounds. So if you've got a scanner, you know, scan in portions of it, and, you know, then you could print out your own backing papers based on your different, you know, collage designs that you've actually done. And all with the starting point of just using up some of the Gelli plate prints and bringing in some of your other embellishments. Now, right, these sentiments that are done by a lovely crafter, really talented lady called Leonie Pujol. And she's got some really cool ones. You know, today was all red paint and scribbles. Things like that today can just go and become yesterday already. Just pass me the pot of paint and no one will get hurt. And I just think those... I like that. I'm a round peg in a square hole. Poppycock and fiddlesticks. And I think I'm just going to add some of those on. This is the only thing with things like this. I can take me longer to do this than it can anything else. I love reading all of them. That's a nice one. She held onto her hat, closed her eyes and jumped. Because that's what collage is. It's being brave enough to do, just go with the flow and have no particular thing. So we've got... And finally, I just thought I'm going to put this one here down the bottom to remind myself, not that I would do it, but, you know, if I don't love this page, I can always cover it with gesso and start again. So this is my finished pages. So lots of layers. A bit of stenciling, using up stickers, using up my Gelli prints so they're not just sitting there doing nothing. And I'll let this settle, and then what I would do is I would put a layer of different glue or gel medium on the top just to hold everything in place. But I'm actually quite pleased that I've used up my prints rather than keep storing them. And I've dug out a few stickers and rub-ons that I forgot I even had. And I've just spent 20 minutes just creating something that visually for me, I love. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening to my randoms really, about, just throwing down some colour, just throwing down some products and seeing what happens at the end of it. And actually, thoroughly in just losing yourself in just throwing it all down and making something that sings to your eyes. Hope to see you soon. Thank you ever so much for popping over.